PK. You look so pretty. Yes, you look so pretty.
Come and ride along with Hawkeye and Jeannie, as they continue their journey on the road in a converted cargo van, visiting cities, communities, towns, and other places of interest to determine what is really going on in the aftermath of the COVID-19 pandemic. Who is in business and who is not? What is the new normal way to live? Then report back to you with these videos. That is what Hawkeye's Tales and Trails is all about. I am Delmer, the narrator. Episode 53, and more, is about time Hawkeye and Jeannie spent in the Columbia River Valley area and a visit with Jeannie's older brother, Marv, and his wife Joni when they visit Tamani Peshwa Trail and a great interview with Ranger Callahan. The spectacular Columbia Gorge is full of Native American petroglyphs. For petroglyph viewing near Maryhill Museum of Art, walk the Tamani Peshwa Trail at Columbia Hills State Park where pictographs and petroglyphs are on display. No reservations are needed to view the dozens of rock art displays and interpretive panels, which are open daily from April-October. With reservations, guided tours to view Tsagaglalal, She Who Watches, run at 10 a.m. every Friday and Saturday between April and October. Tsagaglalal is perhaps the most famous petroglyph in the Pacific Northwest. Petroglyph Canyon is now underwater in Horsethief Lake. The underwater area is now a registered National Historic Place, significant to the native peoples of the area, and as an area noted by Clark during the Lewis and Clark expedition. On the Historic Register site the pictographs are listed as dating from 1000 to 1500 AD. There are hundreds of petroglyphs underwater. Only a few were saved, and they are now located at the historic site of the people of Wishram village. Be sure to look at other petroglyph pictures in the gallery. Now called Columbia Hills State Park, previously known as Horsethief State Park, the petroglyphs have been lined up along a short path. There is also a trail next to the interpretive area, but it is available only by guided tour on Saturdays due to problems with vandalism. Lewis and Clark stayed at the village in 1805, and Clark wrote this in his journal: I returned through a rocky open country infested with polecats to the village where I met with Captain Lewis, the two old chiefs who accompanied us, and the party and canoes who had all arrived safe, the canoes having taken in some water at the last rapids. Here we formed a camp near the village.
Is it okay if I record you?
I don't know. It depends on what you're going to do with it.
Well, it could be on a YouTube channel. Introduce yourself.
Well, good evening. I'm Ranger Callahan. How are you doing today?
Oh, man, I'm alive and well. If I was doing any better, it'd be against the law. But yeah, the question was, you know, this area right here, I know this is my first time here, but what's the story with this display, this exhibit?
Yeah, so this whole fence display here of relocated petroglyphs. It's called Tamani Peshwa, translated from one of the native dialects, roughly means written in stone or written in rock.
Right.
Petroglyphs are rock carvings.
Yeah.
Pictographs, which are rock paintings. There are a couple of paintings here, but 99% of what's on display in this relocated display is a petroglyph. So it's been carved out of the rock. Most of what's in this display here came from a canyon that's now underwater, and before the Dalles Dam was completed, they knew that this petroglyph-rich canyon would be submerged, and they hired a contractor in about 1955-56 to quarry some of the samples of the rock carvings out of the canyon where they were. They moved around through the 60s and 70s and 80s to a few different homes until they came back here as close to where they were carved by the indigenous people as they could be placed. So here they are.
That's awesome. Yeah.
These two rocks also came from a similar area where Speedus Creek entered the Columbia River. They were down there, not part of the canyon, but near it. And They just came back in February.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, that was the big question. All the other exhibits were kind of self-explanatory.
Yeah, we did get some panels. There will be some panels explaining the story of these.
Good.
Now they're being called the Grant House petroglyphs because when they removed them from here, they were over at Fort Vancouver in front of a building called the Grant House.
All right.
So as part of repatriating some of these things back, tribes and a working group with the state and federal collaborators back.
That's great.
Here they are at home with their friends.
Right on.
It's been a long time since we rock and roll. Been a long time since we did the stroll. Oh, let's go back, baby. Carry me back. Back to where we came from. Been a long time. Been a long time. Lonely, 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 lonely.
Look at you, BK. You look so pretty.
time.
Yes, you look so pretty.
Okay, look up.
Miss
There you
Baby
go.
Kitty.
Yeah, look at me.